Communication training with Dan O'Connor.
Hi everybody, it's Dan O'Connor and I am back. I have been away for a while improving my website for you actually so that you have more tools and resources that you can work with, so make sure to check out danoconnor.training.com. And having said that, I'm going to start off many new series that we have coming up here on our YouTube channel with some viewer questions. I wanted to start off with a viewer question that really encompasses so many different things. And I think a lot of us have had a situation similar to this one. I think a lot of us could benefit from thinking about this particular question, whether or not the answer that I give is perfect for your situation. And the question goes something like this. I'm going to paraphrase a bit. The viewer says, "Hey Dan, I have a friend, a girl, who knows that I love her, but she's not really agreeing to make me her boyfriend. But at the same time, she doesn't want to lose me because I'm one of her best friends. And the situation has grown stagnant and both of us don't talk about it as we don't want to lose each other. But I somehow feel that you're the best person to show me the right way out of this situation." Okay. Since you asked, I don't know exactly what the best way out of the situation may be for you, as you put it. However, just knowing the little bit that I know, what I'm going to do is try to give you some tools that will help you, number one, find peace in the relationship and be more comfortable in it. And number two, if you really want to, what do we say here in Mexico? Conquistar. If you really want to, how do you say conquistar in English? If you really want to woo her and if you want her to fall in love with you as you are with her, these tips will help. Now, we are going to be making a series on specific things that you can do to make somebody fall in love with you, specific maneuvers that you can use. However, before I go into those, I'm going to tell you, number one, focus on substance, not form. In any relationship that we have, one of the things we teach in our course is principles. We talk about 3 principles that really transform any relationship and make it a miraculous, lasting, forever loving relationship. And one of them is focus on substance, not form. Meaning we tend to focus on what something is called, how somebody behaves, what they do, how they show the love for us. When instead, if we focus on substance, the love that binds us together, the love that it's not even ours, the love that we didn't create, but we're nourishing it. If you focus on the love between the two of you, and remember that love is not, I want you to be my wife, or I want you to call me at 7, or I want you to have this label or sleep next to me. Love is simply, I want you to feel free and at peace and be safe. That's what I want for you. Of course, if it's a romantic love that you have, I'd also love for you to be around me, and I'd love for us to share many different things, but just pure love, which is attractive, is something that you focus on purely just the substance of it. I'd like to focus on the love between the two of us, and the form takes shape naturally. Form always takes shape naturally when you let it be, when the substance is what it should be. Meaning, for example, if I, in my communication skills, before I focus on what words I'm going to say to help project the image of an honest, credible, worthy spouse, I want to focus on being that honest, credible, worthy, loving spouse. Because when the substance, if I really am that person, is what it should be, the words or the form of my communication are going to take shape naturally, and it will be much easier for us to communicate what we truly are because we focus first on substance. And if you focus on the substance of your relationship and don't worry about whether she's your girlfriend or your friend or your wife or an acquaintance or someone that you used to know. Let's say that she goes another path and you used to know her. That's okay. The current form of your relationship is exactly what it should be, especially knowing that she knows you love her, yet has not yet chosen to make you her boyfriend. Number 2, I'm going to tell you, remember that there is nothing more unattractive than when somebody needs us or wants us, or is, I'm not saying you're doing this, but let's just imagine that you're kind of just, waiting around with puppy dog eyes, letting her know that you love her, letting her know by subtle things that you do, or the way you look at her. Maybe you leave her love notes, or whatever it is that you have done to let her know how you feel about her. Remember to change that. And I'm not into game playing. I'm saying change your mindset. You know, you've told her how you feel about her, she knows. So don't focus on the form that you want anymore, because you can't force the form. You can't. It never works out. So instead, I recommend having a talk with her and saying something such as, you know, Jane, I'm assuming her name is Jane, or don't call her that. I know that in the past I've expressed to you that I would like to have more of a relationship with you than simply friends, but I've now realized by being your friend that this is an awesome relationship, and I can get much more out of it than I'd ever expected, and love you in a very pure way, and I'm cool with that. So I just wanted you to know that, number one, I'm not looking for that, and so we can breathe a sigh of relief, because I see you now as such a good friend. I would never want to lose that. And number two, I'd like to ask you, is it okay, since I would like to date somebody, is it okay if I talk to you about the people that I date, or the people that I meet? Or would you rather me not talk about that for whatever reason? I wanted to run all these things by you. And wait to see what she says, but be very firm in, I'm going to date other people. I'm so glad we're friends. That's cool with me forever. And I'm a whole person as it is. I don't need you or want you so that I can feel like I'm complete and I'm, finally with my soulmate or other half. Because remember, that is super unattractive. No one ever, ever, ever will win if you let somebody know, without you, I am not whole. I need you. I want you. It is not attractive at all. What is attractive is, hey, I'm good with whatever relationship we have. And if there's something that I need that I don't have in this relationship, that's okay, because I can go get it someplace else, and I'm totally happy and good with that. Having said that, let's say that now you do want to, I'm going to say, let's say that she's opened the door, and she said, yeah, I think it's a possibility we could be more than friends. Now, depending on the culture that you're in, it might be more difficult. You know, like right here in Mexico, there are these steps that kids go through when they first start to meet and then court and then marry at a young age. And not everybody, of course, but I live in a pueblo right now, and it's interesting to me to watch the courtship process. And there are certain steps that people have to go through. So let's say that she has opened the door and she's saying, all right, you may court me, and you want her to really fall in love with you. Learn to speak her love language. There are 5 of them, and we're going to do a series on this next, actually. So pretty soon you'll be able to click here and go right to those videos. But there are 5 love languages. Gary Chapman wrote a book on this, and it was a book that really impacted me, and I've taken it personally and done many different things with it, because not only can you learn to speak different languages of love, meaning I'm going to show you in the way that you most likely recognize and respond to signs of love that I love you. And there are 5 different ways: acts of service, touch, giving and receiving gifts, quality time, and words. Those are the 5. But once you learn the love languages, and it's pretty simple concept, but it can really change the way you communicate when you focus on it and have the right tools so that you can then do something with the information that you have. It's not just about loving somebody. I've learned, for me, I can say I'm sorry 5 different ways in 5 different languages. I can say thank you or I appreciate you 5 different ways. There are so many different ways that you can use that system. So I recommend watching our series on the different love languages. And, you know, if you want to show her that you can provide to her the type of love that she's looking for, do it in her language. There are 5. They're very distinct. And that might increase the odds of you winning her heart in a romantic way if you'd like to do that. And the last thing I'd like to say is we're also going to be doing a series on specific things that you can do. Like, let's say that you want to affect her on a biochemical level, you know, see if there's any chance that she could have romantic feelings for you. I will give you strategies that you can use to see if you can release the phenylethylamine in her brain, for example. Like you can do the you can do the pivot and lean with the sticky eyes, which is, the pivot and lean is when you move around, you know, it might be let's say at a party, she's at one side of the room, you're at the other end of the room, and you're talking to some friends. You know, as you're talking to your friends, you're looking at her. Those are the sticky eyes. So you're looking at her, you're looking at her. It doesn't matter what you're saying, you know, olive juice, olive. And then somebody else on this side you decide you want to talk to, so you do one of these. Yeah, what was that, Mark? And you pivot and lean as you maintain the sticky eyes. That, my friend, is the phenylethylamine releaser that guaranteed, if there's any chance that you can spark a romantic relationship with somebody, when you know what to do to release phenylethylamine in someone else's brain, if you do those things, that will dramatically increase the odds. And if there's a chance that you'll have a romantic relationship with them, that'll bring you to that point when you behave in a way that people have been shown to behave that causes other people to fall in love with them. Because human beings really do have a dance that we go through. You know, just like they're, you know, I think it's chickens or the turkeys or somebody, some group of fowl, when they are courting a lady duck, chicken, turkey, whatever it is, you know, they open up their feathers and shake them a certain way, you know, being like, hey, I'm showing you my feathers, I'm doing the turkey dance. And if the other bird is interested, they will show interest right there. If they're not, they will go find a different bird, because if that didn't work, nothing will. So I will give you those types of things as well that you can use to either seal the deal or no, there's no deal, and move along, so that you can maintain the friendship that you have and start to really nourish the love that you do have in the form that's appropriate for that relationship. Focus on that substance. But if you recognize doing these things is actually revealing to me the form that was already there, but it's kind of like Michelangelo, I think it was Michelangelo, that said, you know, when he looked at a sculpture, when he thought of a sculpture, what was really going on in his brain is he looked at a, you know, big piece of marble and then chipped away at it and revealed what was already there. That's how he thought of sculpting when he made the Piata. Is it called the Piata? But the same goes for sometimes in our relationships. We know there is a beautiful romantic relationship in here, and what I'm going to do is help it reveal itself, because I'm not forcing it. You know, I'm not trying to change the form. I'm revealing it. There are strategies that you will find very useful to do that. And if it's not with Jane, or whatever her name is, then it can be used and implemented in the next relationship you have, where you think, there's great potential here for romance, and I'm going to do everything I can to reveal that and bring it to light. So there are strategies that you can use, like the pivot and lean, which we'll be talking about in future series. And if you've made it this far in the video, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor and decide. There's a poll that I'm going to put up right here. I hope it works. You tell me, in terms of romantic relationships and really healing relationships, relationship rescue, what would you like to hear more of right now? We're going to be doing all three, but what is the series that you think would benefit you the most? Principles, such as focus on substance, not form, or strategies, such as be an independent whole person and do not project on somebody else, I need you, because that's unattractive, or specific phenylethylamine releasing tactics, such as the pivot and lean with the sticky eyes. What would you like to see more of? If you could tell me in the poll, I would appreciate that. And for everybody here at Dan O'Connor Training, including Buddy and Maggie, this is Dan O'Connor. Looking forward to seeing more of you, so make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. And I'm signing off.